This is a Whipple Supercharger, and that just happens to be my wife's truck. Holy crap! And that was 1 year ago. I secretly supercharged my wife's Silverado, and after a series of DIY mechanical ambitions, the future of this truck has now changed forever. And at the time, it felt unstoppable. But the honeymoon phase is over. The truck's got some problems.
The check engine light keeps coming back. The truck randomly sputters and dies at startup, and the fuel mileage? Well, we'll get into that. And it has me thinking if this build was a mistake. We're tearing into this thing to find out today. And if it all goes according to plan, we're finally gonna find out how much more powerful this thing is from when we started.
Money ain't free.
Money ain't free. I mean, after 9 revisions, who would be up for a 10th? So this is a 2020 Silverado Trail Boss, and for the past 6 years, it has served as my wife's daily driver and kind of our family commuter, but I also have a mental problem where I constantly have to change and modify it. So it has also become the hero car on the channel, and I freaking love it. And as it sits today, this thing is a freaking beast. Whipple Supercharged V8, upgraded valve train, Texas speed camshaft, an unlocked ECM, a custom tune from HP Tuners, completely deleted dynamic fuel management system, long tube headers, completely custom exhaust, 35s, lift kits. It's a dang cool truck. However, all of the work on this truck has been done by yours truly, which means we're running into some issues now. The first one appearing when we were towing over a long distance with this truck, and now that problem keeps coming back. Check engine light, sputtering, stalling, dying, and I want to do more. And if we're finally able to figure this thing out today, get it fixed, we are going to find out how much more powerful this is actually with all the work we have done under the hood, because more boost, more noise, more power, more better. Let's go. We are going to figure out what's going on here. So we have our HP Tuners MPVI4 and our VCM suite. And all we need to do is plug her in, turn the ignition on, and see what codes are currently active and or stored. There we go. All right, let's connect. And we're going to read DTCs. And there we are. Intake air pressure measurement system, manifold absolute pressure, baro sensor range performance. So this thing on the back side has an LT4 map sensor.
The map sensor measures manifold absolute pressure, basically how much pressure is in the intake. The stock sensor simply can't read high enough once the truck starts making boost. Once it maxes out, the ECU has no idea how much air is actually entering the engine, which means fueling and timing calculations become inaccurate really fast.
Boost. It's fun to say, boost. Something's not happy, and we've had a discussion with Mr. Sanford, the wizard, the retired Crown Vic NASCAR driver, top 10 in his debut. He thinks it's one of two things. It could be one, we have a vacuum leak, high possibility, or two, it's a code we just need to go ahead and remove from the tune on the truck, and that sputtering and stalling issue is potentially downstream, meaning the 3 additional modifications we've made to the exhaust system since this thing was tuned, it needs a retune anyways. And in order to inspect this truck for a vacuum leak, we've ordered ourselves a smoke machine. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
That's what she said.
Hopefully it puts out enough smoke for it to work. You guys wanna make some smoke? Yeah! And we're gonna put the smoke right here. I think it's the best bet. And hopefully it'll travel that way. And if it doesn't, we'll go ahead and pull off the air filter box, plug this end, and then force that smoke that way. So I'll link this in the description below, guys. This is a good little tool to have around, especially when you're trying to find exhaust leaks, evap leaks, all the little leaks. You put smoke in the system and then find the smoke. All right, so we gotta go power, ground. Gotcha. Oh, don't fall down. Comes with 120 minutes of runtime. Nice. Here's power, and here's ground. Look at that. Yeah. All right, hold on. You ready? Here we go. Okay, put it in there. Hold it.
Smell coming.
Where you see? Oh, there. So how this cold air intake system works, it actually pulls air from a duct that actually comes up underneath and goes in here. So basically you have the airflow going in the grill, works its way through, goes in here, through the box, into the engine, through our Whipple supercharger, and as you can see, it works. All right, the smoke definitely traveled upstream. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull the air box. I'm actually gonna plug this in to force that smoke this way. What I'm really looking for is to see if that spot is leaking or if there's anything around the back that smoke's coming out of it. Up under here, I believe this is a PCV hose. Should we go ahead and get a catch can? I never installed a catch can on a system, and given it is boosted, a catch can would be ideal. I was actually kind of curious how bad the inside would look. And the problem is with the PCV system, it recirculates the ventilation from the crankcase back through the intake, just coats everything in the intake. What brand of catch can should we run with the Whipple though? That's the question. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Gosh dang it, should have put that on a long time ago.
So the plan is now to tape up the throttle body and force that smoke in through the PCV system on the Whipple. Just checking to make sure there's no smoke coming out of anywhere it's not supposed to.
Okay, new plan. We've got my plastic trim tool propping open the throttle body blade so all the smoke gets in really easy. We're gonna poke a hole in the tape and stick the smoke maker in there.
At this point, we still have not seen any smoke come out of the bottom end of our intake, which is good. This is just our last chance to triple check this before moving on.
Looks like this sounds good. Nothing.
Sounds good?
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, I don't see any smoke.
Volcano.
All right, really good news. No leaks on the top side, which is what I was hoping for because I installed that Whipple myself. And it looks like we're good there. The issue may be downstream because this thing has gone 3 revisions of the exhaust system since it was tuned. We have a equalized exhaust system through a Borla switch fire. I think they call them Z-pipes now. They're very high flow mufflers with high flow cats, and I think that just needs to be baked into the tune file. Fix your helmet, please. Kill me, Smalls.
So we're probably okay on the map sensor code, but our problem is likely downstream, which means we have to break it to the boss that we're going to be removing her exhaust on her truck for the 10th time.
We're going to change up the exhaust system again to run a little bit better, and I think your catalytic converters don't like the boost that it's seeing because those cats are not rated for supercharged applications, and we've been running it with the supercharged application for over a year. So exhaust is coming back off for a 10th time. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're setting a record with this truck. This is the 10th version of this exhaust, and it's gonna be the best yet.
There ain't no problem big enough that I can't make it worse. Ain't no whiskey of any proof that I cannot outburn. You can say, hey, go to hell, but
Full droop, baby, full droop. But when we're done here in a few weeks, this is gonna be even further down. But we're coming soon on the truck. On the truck is my 9th version of my exhaust for this thing. Over just not wanting to sound and be like every other truck on the road, when the new Cadillac Escalade V came out, I noticed the tone of the exhaust sounded very unique, not like a truck. We have a good buddy who works for Cadillac, and we pulled some schematics to notice an exhaust loop on an SUV. Ladies and gentlemen, not with a dog. So we took that same idea and concept and added an exhaust loop onto this truck, in addition to the Borla switch fire and a Valvetronic valve-controlled exhaust. But we've run into some issues because for our boosted application, the cats on this truck are probably melted. But also I noticed that yours truly installed our custom Valvetronic mufflers backwards.
ain't no problem big enough that I can't make it worse. Ain't no whiskey of any proof that I can.
Ah, exhaust juice. Yummy. There we go. You backwards muffler, you. But in my defense, this universal muffler kit that I bought didn't come with instructions. It just had 2 mufflers in it and a vacuum thing. Which also begs the question, why does it have to be vacuum? Why can't it just be electronic? Because the vacuum loses vacuum every time you park the car, and it has to reinitiate the pump and reopen the valves. Like, why can't it just be electronic, open or close? Shoot, 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 shoot. Well, we've got problems on problems, guys. I might just throw these things in the trash, to be honest. So these have been installed backwards for a few months, which hasn't mattered a ton because 90% of the time we are running with valves open. So technically the flow of the exhaust is almost straight through all the way. But what I didn't realize is
The build on these things are not even as advertised. These valve-controlled mufflers, when they're closed, are supposed to have 2 openings that allow the exhaust to flow through the baffled area to act like a traditional muffler. Taking a closer look at mine, yeah, that's one small 1.5-inch hole for all that exhaust to flow through. Which wouldn't really be an issue if we were running these valves open all the time, except when you park the truck for an hour or two, that vacuum that's holding these valves open, you lose it. It just doesn't hold. So when you start the truck back up, the valves are closed, and all that supercharged V8 exhaust at startup has to shove itself through that 1.5-inch opening, causing a ton of back pressure, which is likely the cause of our issue altogether. So even if we flip these things around the right way, we're still gonna have issues. These things are going in the trash.
which means it's time for us to go back to the storage unit. We may be putting the AWE resonators on here, if they fit. Let's find out.
I'm hoping these are gonna fit. I don't think they are though.
Pros and cons of doing 9 different exhaust systems on this one truck is spare parts. You got a lot of them. And then these are the AWE 180 Tech resonators. I just don't know size-wise if these are gonna fit in there because these are very wide. Now, if you guys missed the update on this truck, this is my wife's 1967 Chevy C10 that we just made. Freaking epic, and even better than that, she drove it. Freaking epic, just a week ago. So go check it out. I'll link it right here in the description below. I love this truck. I don't know what to do. All right, this is gonna be the loudest setup ever. You guys ready to be exposed to my genius?
You might end up overcomplicating things. The X-pipe is designed to smooth and balance exhaust pulses for a higher, more refined tone, while an H-pipe tends to give a deeper classic rumble. If you run both, you're blending 2 different tuning philosophies. If your main goal is sound experimentation, you could test it.
Sound experimentation sounds good. So I think the issue all along might have been back pressure, because the issues we had at startup on this truck were only at startup. It would sputter and then throw a check engine light, but at startup, the vacuum on these mufflers would have leaked out, meaning the exhaust valves would be closed, which means all the exhaust is running through that 1.5-inch little hole, but as soon as you start the truck, the vacuum kicks on and opens up the flaps. But by then, the truck's already had an issue starting up. So I think this entire issue is derived from my Valvetronic mufflers in that little tiny hole that the exhaust runs through. This is my genius idea. This is something I built before. This is AWE's systems H-pipe that comes on their 6.2 liter systems. I added 2 vibrant resonators onto that H-pipe, which toned it down a little bit. Yep, that's what we're doing. X to an H.
There ain't no problem big enough that I can't make it worse. Ain't no whiskey of any proof that I cannot outburn. You can say,
And we went back on Amazon and picked up another set of Evil Energy's V-band clamps. These are 3-inch V-bands and they work wonderfully. But there is a, I don't know if you call it a male and a female end. See that one with the lip on it? So these seal. You have to weld them in the right spot. But before all of that, we're gonna remove the rest of the exhaust because there's a chance it'll be, you know, 1/2 inch forward or backwards when we put it all back together because I built it myself. Please don't hit my shin. Have I said I'm excited to have a lift one day in this video yet? See, I even have a spot marked where the lift's gonna be mounted down.
I've been there first.
is gonna be fun. So it turns out the cats we had on our long tube system, it just weren't enough. So we've now removed said cats, and then we need to weld the new ones on when they arrive, hopefully here in a few hours. But then we gotta get this guy back in the perfect angle to get back up to the header. If you guys haven't seen the last 9 episodes of me making this exhaust, wouldn't classify myself as a fabricator. All right, Maui, it's gonna get loud, buddy. Maui, it's gonna get loud. Yep. Not bad, I've done worse. Maui, go. Maui, go. Nope, go. You don't need to stare in here. I just know Maui's gonna be staring at the weld. He's just that type of dog. This is Maui. Maui, go. Thank you. No, go behind the wall. Thank you. Right there's fine. No, no. Maui.
One additional detail we're adding while fixing the issue we have with our cats is a flex pipe on both banks of the exhaust. I'll explain why here in just a bit. This is how I sleep, knowing my wife's been driving around a supercharged Silverado. Kids are never late to soccer practice.
And if this all goes according to plan today, we're likely gonna be making the truck even faster. So you know, we're gonna be sleeping even better. But all jokes aside, I used to sleep like crap. And it's got nothing to do with the truck and all to do with the mattress. And that has changed in the last year thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Brooklyn Bedding. Despite all the really cool beds we have up and around the shop, there's one bed that actually matters for your health, and it was one bed that I just hated using because every single night when I go to sleep, I would wake up the next day feeling more exhausted than I was the night before. I was miserable. Just over a year ago, Brooklyn Bedding reached out wanting to work with us here on the channel. I told them, you know what, send out your Sedona Elite, I'll try it out. I don't sleep very good anyways, and if it's good, then we'll promote you guys. I'll tell you, from that moment on, my life has changed.
We picked up a king size of the Sedona Elite because it's designed to stay cool but also provides a good amount of support for someone like me that moves around a lot in their sleep.
It's been over a year now on this bad boy. I like the fact that I fall asleep almost immediately, and I sleep through the night actually.
That's my favorite feature with this bed.
You sleeping?
Oh. And something cool about these Brooklyn Bedding mattresses is they are designed, assembled, and shipped from their Arizona factory, which means you cut out the middleman, which means competitive pricing for you and a great night's sleep for me and you as well, assuming you get one.
And me.
And they ship for free straight to your door with a limited lifetime warranty and a 120-night sleep trial. You can even use your HSA or FSA funds to pick up your mattress. We love our Brooklyn Bedding mattress. I think you guys would too. If you're in the market for a new mattress, check out brooklynbedding.com or scan this QR code. Sorry, babe, right over your face.
Okay, scan it.
And you can get 30% off your mattress with code Lone Star Hawaiian. That's a huge discount. 30% off with code Lone Star Hawaiian. Thank you, Brooklyn Bedding. Time to get back to the shop. Sorry, babe. Bye.
Bye.
Ah, there he is. Where's up, Maui's? Where's up? Did mom not let you inside? Huh? All right, guys, we're in a spot that we have been a few times, but I'm getting really excited. I am so confident that this is gonna be the version we stick with forever, and that this is gonna be the best sounding thing we've ever done. Version number 10 on the Big Kahuna, the wildest sounding, best sounding Silverado on this planet. Cooks long tube headers through an equalizer loop, through a boreless switch fire, through an H pipe, through 2 vibrant resonators, through AWE 0FG exhaust out the back, through 4 4-inch black diamond tips. So the point we are at right now is we need to tack weld a bunch of stuff up here to keep all the angles and lengths exact. The difficult part of this is we do have 2 unique 3-inch pipe runs, we need to end as symmetrical as possible right here. This is where the boreless switch fire, the XZ pipe, whatever you call it now, is gonna slide into these, and we clamp it down to seal it. So getting these as even as we possibly can, sitting about 1 inch right above this cross member here is a challenge, but I think we've gotten it. And I need to go with the welder, tack those up in the front with our flex pipes and cats, get those all in the right angles, and then we'll be good to connect point C to D and then D to E. Ooh, a lot more to go. All right. Wish that I could be like the cool kids. Ow. Oh, man. I need some light. Ask and you shall receive. I love it when it's just sitting there. Oh, I can't see. I can't see anything. I want to lift so bad. You know, we're actually getting the best fitment we've ever had with this exhaust, just because with our flex pipe that we installed, we have the ability to put the pipe in or out just a little bit, which refined where it connected there, but it's also refining all the angles that were kind of just not thrown together. They just weren't perfect, but now they're more better. Ha ha ha, said it again. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Pull these things back out of here, weld them all the way around, put them back in. And whoops, just seeing this, our vacuum lines from our Valvetronic system, we got to snip these and pull these things out because we're no longer doing valve. Sorry neighbors, we're gonna be rowdy all the time. All right, here's our previously used H-pipe and vibrant resonators we're gonna put back on the truck. So it's gonna be switch fire through an H-pipe through the resonators, which will hopefully tone it down enough where it's not agonizing to drive. I mean, guys, we're getting it. We're getting it. You know, I'm happy with that. If I could just keep that moving without stopping, it would look fantastic. The problem is we start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. Don't look over here, it looks really ugly. But yeah, I think our happy settings, 13.5 volts, 117 inches per minute is what we're running. I think we're good. Some ugly ass welds. That's okay.
No one looks up underneath here.
I start out good and I get impatient and I just. Oh, that's an old weld. That's one of the first ones. Oh. Not really. You guys ready for this shenanigans? All right. Long tube headers, crossover, equalizer loop, equalizing the links between driver and passenger side, comes through boreless switch fire Z-pipe, I think they're calling it now, going to a H-pipe from AWE, vibrant resonators, to exhaust out the back from AWE, the 0FG, quad, black diamond tips, 4-inch tips, out the rear bumper. Yeah, that is... We're gonna tighten everything up. I'm gonna throw my wideband in the secondary O2 sensor there because Mr. Matt Sanford is on the line waiting for the first tune file. So we're gonna get that in there, start it up, hear it for the first time. Let's do that. Oh my goodness, what the hairline? That looks wonderful. We got them tips lined up, good to go. And then this, guys, is a wideband O2 sensor. And then the wideband here. This is the Ballinger AFR 500. Basically what this is a instrument to measure the actual air-fuel ratio coming out of the exhaust. Basically when Matt's gonna be tuning the truck, he wants the air-fuel ratio to be at a certain point dependent on the throttle position. If it's wide open, there's a different air-fuel ratio, cruising, different air-fuel ratio, so on and so forth. So this gets the actual measurement because we pull the secondary O2 sensor out and I put this O2 sensor in its place. And then basically when we run a data log through the computer, it'll actually input the actual air-fuel ratios into that data log as the truck runs. But right now we're just recalibrating it because it's been a while since we used it. So we're out of calibration. There we go. Ah, bud.
It's time to listen to the truck.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hear it go roar. I hope it goes roar and not Can I get a big roar?
Wow.
Roar. What you guys doing over here? That's a boat. More importantly, Valvetronic versus Vibrant, we're about to find that out. Flex pipes eliminate drone, we're about to find that out. X plus H equals smiley or frowny, we're about to find that out. Ram air intake temps. We're gonna do that in a minute. How much faster? Let's go. All right, we can go ignition on. There we go, ignition's on. Crap, that Valvetronic thing's still plugged in. It's trying to pull vacuum. All right, how do I unplug you? Vacuum. We don't need you no more. You are fired. Here we go. Fire in the hole.
Woo, look at all that smoke coming out.
This thing's gonna be loud, I can already tell. Like, remember before when it was like, splat?
Yeah.
I think it's back. Oh, that sounds good. Woo! Let's go. All right, 10 times the charm. 10 times the charm. Let's go. All right, give her a couple more taps. It's gonna be so loud.
I hope so.
It's a race truck.
It's a race truck. It's gonna cause attention.
Draw attention.
Oh, it's gonna draw attention.
Gonna cause attention. After this video, it's going back under the knife very significantly. We gotta get this thing dialed in tune. But most importantly, we're gonna find out in a second how much faster this thing is. Whipple Supercharged versus a stock factory setup. But first, looks like we're going to the pool.
We're just getting started, it's all part of the game. Building anticipation, getting close to life. No, I think I see you more than a friend. Better late than never. Now it's all over me. These reflections of you.
This is gonna be noisy. That was 28% throttle. Yeah, so the boiler switch fire, the X pipe, blends those exhaust pulses together. Good performance, great flow, great scavenging. The H pipe that we put after the X pipe gives it more of like an old muscle car-ish sound. So we're gonna have both worlds working in conjunction, hopefully not against each other. That is loud. I can't even imagine wide open throttle. This is the first drive. Matt said take it mild. He wants to dial in the fuel to make sure we're still good there. But yeah, looks pretty good so far. Also, we're going to eat. So we're gonna take the work truck to eat while data logging. I'll send it when we get there, and then we'll go from there. I like it. I want to go wide open so bad. This is gonna be loud. Got ourselves a tuner.
Tuner.
What you doing over there?
So this line right here is called MAF. Mother AFer. Now this one, inject B1. Knock right retard.
Knock retard.
So is this the knock? Inject.
You figure out what math is?
Money ain't free. Mess around and find out. How I keep doing this.
And then this exhaust clamp here, and it will allow me to twist this exhaust loop down just a little bit. So basically what's happening is this loop is hitting the pipe over the top. There we go. See, that's all we needed. This thing is rowdy. With what we have coming for this truck over the next few weeks, it's gonna make more sense soon. So if you guys haven't yet, hit that subscribe button below, because this thing is gonna become a real dream truck soon.
Now we have one last change that we're gonna make before we go wide open on this thing.
This has a functional ram air. There's a vent right here, and the way they formed this hood is that airflow actually gets forced to an opening right here, which is directly on top of the air box. Our cold air inductions, cold air intake box, we're removing the plexiglass. The opening in the hood sits right on top of this box. That way the air will flow through this to the filter, but it will block out all that hot air on this side of the engine bay getting sucked in to the engine. I hope. Oh, perfect. I was gonna have to cut this. If this goes horribly wrong, it's also reversible. So Sarge took the Silverado camping. You guys see it in the driveway? I don't. He made it back. He made it back, but check this out. Any guesses in the comments below? Any guesses at all? All right, welcome back to the Mo Better Garage, where we are on an endless quest. Exhaust number 10 on this truck.
One again? Hey, I'll take the old exhaust because that sounded good.
X plus H equals good or bad? The Borla switch fire, the AWH pipe, vibrant resonators, and FDA approved cats.
It's like an instrument that they had in band.
Welcome to the FAQ portion of today's video. Bear with me, this is something I haven't done that I needed to do forever, so just real quick. Also, do you love my pictures my boys drew for me? There's a boat, a ship. But I got my logo. He's almost got it.
Now the video 1 year ago, Whipple's supercharging this truck, it went viral. And there were some common themes in the comments that I want to address now.
Going back to the initial install video of the Whipple, my wife seemed kind of on the fence about it. Does she actually like it? Doo-doo.
What's your favorite mod that's been done to your wife's truck?
I love my Whipple. And when they don't know, I'm like, let me tell you.
Yes, she loves it. And I can confirm that by hearing her leave every single morning going to work, because I can hear her for about 5 miles down the road, and she's on it constantly. So yes, she loves the Whipple. Lots of comments on fuel, how she's gonna be burning through 10 times more fuel with a Whipple supercharger in it. And you're almost right. Bone stock, brand new, factory 2-inch lift, 32-inch tires, 18 miles per gallon. Lift plus tires, I know this is very specific, but giving you these specifics, 16.8 to 17.5 miles per gallon, depending on how we drove and where we were driving it. The Whipple Supercharger and Texas Speed Supercharger camshaft, 15.2 miles per gallon. Transmission's fine. Lastly, these newer GM V8s are not providing a lot of confidence for consumers, especially with the 6.2 liter models having a plethora of issues. Fortunately, the 5.3s, the issues are much less common than the 6.2, but the issues are still there, fortunately for us. We have had 0 issues with this truck. The only time it's been apart was when I'm trying to upgrade it and change things, i.e. the exhaust 10 different times. So engine's great, transmission's great. We're getting 15.2 miles a gallon on a daily driver type of commute. And does she like it? Hell yeah, she does. Does the ram air intake decrease temps? Well, it creates turbulence, kind of. We're able to tune through that. And then lastly, but not least, how much faster is our Whipple Supercharger setup versus a stock 2020 Silverado Trail Boss 5.3 liter V8?
Whoa.
Okay, truck's not fast. It's 6,000 pounds, but we gained 2 seconds in our 0 to 60 and even more than that in our quarter mile if we could actually keep our foot in it. And sorry, hold on. Oh, we got update from Matt. Load this and take a similar data log when you can. There's still a lot left in the 0 to 60. It looks like you were in two-wheel drive and driving like a little, and the truck was pulling a ton of power and short shifting because in order to keep itself hooked up because you were a, I guess there's more in it. 4-wheel drive it is. See you guys next time.
It is so funny.
Oh, so funny. Thought I heard something else.
All right, truck's going back under the knife. You ready?
I got a joke for you.
What's that?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Chi.
Cheese.